Hi, boys and girls. Today we are going to learn about adverbs. So some of the things you're going to need today, again, you're going to need your learning spiral. You're going to need a pencil and, of course, a good eraser. Okay? We're going to cover some things that you're going to find on two language pages. Language page 281, which I believe you will do on Wednesday, and language page 283, which I believe you will do on Thursday. So this is going to help you when you do those pages. Now remember, we're going to take a little bit of notes. So remember that you can pause the video so that you can take the notes, okay? Now, remember last week with Miss Rutowski, you wrote about the parts of speech. So if you have this, you can continue on this. If not, you can just turn your learning notebook, your spiral, and you can continue on the very next page, okay? So this is what we wrote. We're talking about parts of speech, and we have nouns, adjectives. We know about verbs, and now we're going to learn about adverbs, and I'm going to talk to you about that today. So I do want to add something to remember that we said nouns were PPT, person, place, or thing. We've been learning that from the beginning of the year. And then Ms. Rutowski gave us some definitions about adjectives. And I just wanted to add one little word to the definition on adjectives. And it says adjectives are words that describe, and I added the word nouns because adjectives describe nouns. And today we're going to learn what adverbs do, okay? So I want to make that distinction. So remember that adjectives describe a noun, and today we're going to learn that adverbs are going to help to describe verbs. So we're going to get ready to write a few notes on your learning notebook, okay? So are you ready? Here we go. We're going to write the definition of an adverb. And again, if I go too fast, you can pause it, and then you can finish writing the definition on your learning spiral, okay? The definition is going to be an adverb is a word that describes a verb. An adverb is a word that describes a verb. There's one more definition that you need to know, and it is, we're going to add another sentence. An adverb, I want to keep saying adjectives. An adverb may tell how. And we're going to underline the word how. That's a very important word. An adverb may tell how the action of the verb is done. So the second sentence is an adverb may tell how the action of the verb is done. So remember, an adverb is pointing to the verb because that is what we're going to look at. It is going to help that verb. It is going to help describe that verb a little bit more. Okay? Okay, boys and girls. So you should have these sentences written on your learning spiral. And the sentences were, an adverb is a word that describes a verb. An adverb may tell how the action of the verb is done. So let's take a look at it. I like to think of the adverb as it adding to the verb. It's going to give us more information about the verb, which is an action. Usually it tells us how that action is being done. So let's take a look at a sentence. Here we have, of course, a sentence about baby Luna, my granddaughter. So here we have baby Luna woke up. She cried loudly. We're going to look at this sentence right here and let's identify the verb. What did baby Luna do? Well, she cried. So remember when we diagram, when we mark our sentences, we always underline the verb twice. Okay? So here we have the verb, it's cried. Now remember the adverb is going to add to that verb and it's going to tell us how she is doing that. And how is she doing it? Loudly, you're right. And she does cry loudly. So here we have the adverb and later you'll be able to circle so that you identify what the adverb is. Okay? Now, here we have another sentence and it is the wind blew gently. Of course, I have the verb underlined for you, which is blew. Now, it is telling us how the wind blew and the word is right next to it in this case, just like it was for this sentence. So we're going to go ahead and write the verb and the adverb on the line. So the wind blew and it blew gently. Now, if you'll notice, loudly, gently, I want to make a little note because it's very possible, not always, but many adverbs end in the suffix ly. So not all of them, but you'll notice, as you did with these two sentences, that gently and loudly end with ly. So I want to talk a little bit about how you write because you've been doing a lot of writing and you have a lot of choices. Write, of course, is a verb. That's an action that you're doing, but how are you writing? So we're going to use these spaces to write a couple of adverbs to see if you're writing this way, which describe the way you write. I'm going to go ahead and underline write because we located our verb. Okay, now we're going to see how many ways we can write, and we're going to use adverbs to help us figure out the very different ways you can write. And I know you've been doing a lot of writing, which is wonderful. So let's see how you're writing. Let's start with slowly. Usually when you write slowly, you can do some of your best writing. So slowly is an adverb. And of course, here we have the ly. And remember that many adverbs end in the suffix ly. So this one happens to end in ly. You can always write the opposite of that, right? And the opposite of doing it slowly is doing it fast so that you can write fast. So here we have two words that are opposite, which are called antonyms. Good. So we have slowly. I can write slowly. I can write fast. And then I have another word for fast that is a synonym. Do you remember what a synonym is? A synonym are words that mean almost the same. So I'm going to use the word quickly because I remember several of my students would write very quickly. So we've got the word quickly. Then you can also write neatly, which I hope that you are doing. So we have the word neatly. And of course, we have the root word neat, and we added the suffix ly. So here we have three words that end in ly that happen to be adverbs. So that must be something that happens a lot or something that we're going to see a lot with adverbs. And we've got slowly, fast, quickly, neatly, and the opposite of neatly is, of course, I hope you're not doing this, is messy. But I hope more than anything, the way that you are writing is beautifully. And that, of course, is another adverb. And I hope that you are writing beautifully. So if you'll notice here, we have one verb, and the verb is write. It is the action that you guys are doing a lot of. And you have the adverbs, which add to the verb. This is going to tell us what kind of writing you're doing. Are you writing slowly? You can write fast. You can write quickly. You can write neatly. You can write messy. And you can write beautifully. So if you'll notice, adverbs help us so much so that we can describe what we're doing with our verbs and our actions that we have. And of course, that is very important. These are the parts of speech that are going to make us better readers, and they're going to make us better writers, and most importantly, they're going to make us better communicators, which is what we want to be. Thank you so much for joining us today. So we will see you on the next video, and remember that we love you.